My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college.
Like a curriculum.
Like
a curriculum.
Curriculum.
Man. Hey fam, it's Jess.
And it's Jaden
And we're coming to you live.
with the vibe.
Come join the tribe.
What tribe?
J
Tribe? Hey!
Hey, you know.
What it do?
We are back again with another spicy topic.
We got another one for y'all, family.
Yes, today we are going to be talking about divorce. So, are you better off divorce?
Are you better off divorce?
We about to expose the truth today, family. So today we're going to be talking about Tia Mowry and Cory Hardrict. And we're going to be talking about the divorce situation. They have come up a lot here on social media. A lot of people have been talking about their divorce. And as some of us may know, Tia is out with a new show. And so the trailer did come out. And, a lot of people have been talking about it, right? There's a lot been going on with that situation. So we're going to dig into it a little bit and we're going to give our perspective.
Absolutely. We got to talk about it because everybody else is talking about it. It is important news in our community, and we've got opinions on it, family, and we're happy to share them with you.
Yes, fam. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead on and dig into our first clip.
But you and your husband, like a lot of couples, decided that it was better to be lived, your life's better lived apart than together.
Yes.
How did you know that it was time?
That's a really good question.
To take that route?
I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children.
Wow, that's
Sorry, family. Sorry.
That's a laugh right there. She was,
It wasn't that funny.
it wasn't that funny, right?
The overreaction.
It's super overreaction.
Did I overreact? I'm sorry, family, but when I first saw this, I'm like, why did she act that way? Why did she react that way?
I know that. Man.
Look at her, look.
Yeah, that audacious laugh.
Look, they look a little surprised. Look, they're like,
I know,
it's not
they're
that funny. Like, look at her.
I know, I know. She's like, okay.
Oh, man, that wasn't that funny.
Nah.
Hold on, Phil. We gotta go back. We gotta play that. Let's rewind that, baby. Look. Let's go right here. How's that?
Yeah,
Is that okay, baby?
yeah.
Okay. It's already a flying start.
Everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children. Meaning, our children, our friends, our, family. But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really
Self-love.
work on
Self-love, family.
It's at the end of the day, it's about self-love.
At the end of the day, it's about self-love.
our friends, our, family. But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
Wow.
And it's not easy. It's a hard journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is so, so worth it. So
Yeah.
There go the fake laugh again.
Man, and all the applause. Oh, man.
Fake applause. Look,
I know.
Like everybody looks the same, like while they're clapping.
I know.
Like that same smile, like
Yeah, same fake smile.
that's a smile that somebody gives you like when they don't really want to smile. But it's like a courtesy smile. When they see you, they go, but they still mad though. That's the type of smile I see right here. Man.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Oh goodness gracious.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. So as we just saw in the clip, Tia was definitely trying to, I don't know, was she kind of overreacting the whole, oh my gosh, we do so much for everybody else that we don't even think about ourselves. And then when the audience made, I guess, a little reaction, she's gonna overreact and and laugh and just take it kind of to the next level. It's well, it really wasn't that funny, but okay, you know.
Yeah, she was falling out of her chair like this, like ha 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 ha. It's like,
Yeah, you know, kind of just making it seem like, oh my gosh, like we just do so much as women that we never take time to look at, to think about ourselves. And this is not to say that, like, if you are not taking any time out for yourself, that's a good thing. I do believe us women, as well as the men, should all have our own time to take care of ourselves. That is important. But for her to kind of just react that way, it's kind of like, okay, are you just trying to oversell it a little bit?
right. That's the impression that I got when I first seen this. I'm like, why does she act that way?
Yeah.
Twice, 2 fake laughs within like what, 1 minute? Yeah, we got 2 fake laughs in 1 minute.
Man, we sure did.
Yeah, it was unnecessary. It seemed put on. And no disrespect to Tia. No disrespect. We just giving our comments based on what we see.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, fam, we're gonna go ahead on and dig back into the video.
Let's go. We're gonna jump to 342. Let's get it. Let's go.
What were you the most afraid of stepping in? Because you're stepping in. Because some people, when you say, "Oh, my husband and I are going our separate ways," they go, "Oh no, oh, that's sad." But you actually see this as
a celebration.
A celebration.
I really do. I look at it as, one of my friends, she sent this beautiful letter to me from a woman who got a divorce, and it's all about, you know, this perspective, in my opinion, and just changing the narrative. You know, my marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college.
Like a curriculum.
Curriculum.
Man.
Oh, what? So we're taking a course right now?
This is a curriculum. It's a curriculum.
Curriculum. Oh man. Say that 5 times fast.
I know. Say that fast, family.
Oh, it's a curriculum, and it was a success.
It was a success. Ending your marriage and divorce, apparently, according to Tia, that's a success.
That's a success, family.
Man.
All right. Well, let's continue here more.
Right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Cory some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration.
Wow.
So that's basically, you know, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, it's, are they happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing? And I feel like that is what is most important. It's not about staying in something because however long you are in that situation, that equals success. It's about, really, again, are you happy? Because life is really short.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I need a drink. Can I drink to this? Bit?
Yeah,
oh,
you definitely can.
Yeah, it's just coffee, family. There's nothing in it.
Yeah, so she's describing divorce as a graduation, like something to be celebrated. Like, okay, now that I'm done with this curriculum, now I can go ahead on and graduate, and you know, it's a success. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm sorry. What?
Well, I've never heard nobody put it in that perspective before who's been in a divorce. I never heard anybody phrase a divorce or a marriage, I should say, as a curriculum, and that at the end of it, it's a graduation. I've never heard nobody spin it that way.
Yeah, very, very interesting. You know, last time I checked, God don't like divorce, right? He hates divorce. But I mean, hey, I guess nowadays it doesn't matter. Anything for a celebration, anything for a party, hey, anything for some cheers, right? Man.
That is, wow, very, very, very interesting.
That is super interesting. So, do you believe people are celebrating divorce more than they celebrate marriages these days?
Like in general, we speaking like just people generally speaking, or just like these select celebrities?
I would just say generally speaking, because I'll let you get give your take on it. Like,
as you can tell, family, I'm pretty technical. Yeah, I'm just very like that. I'm a nerd, so bear with me. I'm always asking for more clarification on a question. So, I don't like generalizing anybody, or putting a whole group of people and making an assumption, but do you believe people are celebrating divorce more than marriage these days? Well, it seems like the media is pushing that narrative. I'll say that, to be fair. What we do know in the stats is that the divorce rate is extremely high. I believe it's around like 50%. It's about like halfway, right, with divorces. So according to the numbers, because I'm about numbers, I'm kind of a statistics guy. According to the numbers, people are celebrating divorce, somewhere halfway. So you can say that people are celebrating divorce more than marriage, just because about 50% of marriages fall apart. They end in divorce. And feel free, family, to double check me, double check your boy, because I don't have the stats in front of me. But we see a lot of divorces these days, and it's a shame. It is terrible to see that. And then on top of that, not only do we see that in the stats, we see that also reflected in the media. We've seen that reflected in our last video, so please feel free to check out our last video. We've seen it in the video before that as well. For our last 2 videos, we've been talking about divorces, and ironically, it's been with successful women who have been through a divorce, and they give this narrative as if they're celebrating the idea that they got a divorce. It's like they elevated ending the divorce from my perspective, and it's with successful women in our community. It's with successful Black women, and I think that narrative, it's a shame. Does the media have something to do behind it? Well, yeah, obviously they're pushing it.
Definitely.
Are they encouraging our women in our community to push this narrative? Yeah, I mean, perhaps, but also too, we have to put the responsibility on our community as well, instead of just blame and point the fingers at other people. If we're going to keep it a buck, right? We got to hold each other accountable. And that's one of the reasons why we're making this video, these videos, because me, I hate divorce. Y'all hates divorce. Especially if it's for reasons that don't need to be a reason to divorce. And based on what I've heard from Tia, is that it's about her happiness. It's about her happiness.
We've been hearing that a lot lately.
With the successful Black women, right? Well, it's all about happiness.
It's all about my personal
could you
happiness.
Elaborate? Could you be more specific? What do you mean? What did the other person do?
What caused you to be unhappy in your marriage? Was it just, hey, things are getting dull now, so I'm not happy anymore? Or what was it? Because again,
these mundane married men. Oh man.
That's so
they're
mundane.
So evil. They're so out of pocket. They check off all the boxes. They do everything correctly.
And
they're not talking to me crazy. They're not beating on me. They're not abusing me.
I mean, because Tia literally said that her marriage was a success. She said it was a success. She never said anything about he wasn't treating me well, or we went through a lot of counseling, and unfortunately we just could not get it together. But I didn't hear any of that, and so it comes off like they're pushing the message that, hey, if you're just not happy in any situation in your marriage, if you're just not happy, well, just leave, and hey, just say you're graduating. Just say, hey, I'm graduating now. I'm moving on because I'm no longer happy. I don't know. I just feel like that's pushing this unrealistic expectation on marriage, and everyone's gonna get a divorce. Then if we're just thinking about it if I'm just in this moment, if I'm not happy now, okay, now I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do away with my marriage. So I just think it's important for us to be mindful, and that's like my husband said. That's why we're making these videos, because it's we're hearing a certain message being pushed to our community about marriage, and so we're just trying to kind of have some balance, put some balance into the media for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna speak on it.
We are.
We're gonna keep it a buck. We're gonna speak on righteousness and doing what's right, because it's gonna benefit our community. It's gonna benefit all people.
It does, right? Marriage
is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's a blessing.
And it adds to you, right? That's why God wanted men and women to get married, right? It was for a reason. So, yeah, I do have another question for you.
Let's get it, baby.
Can you still consider your marriage to be successful if it ends in divorce?
No. Keep it short. No. It was not successful. It was unsuccessful. I mean,
man,
we're just gonna be honest. I'll try to spin it though. Let me just try to spin it.
Yeah.
Let's say if Cory, let's say he cheated on her, right? Like theoretically, because I never heard her say that he cheated on her. I didn't gather that information. I don't know if we did, family. I didn't hear it. It must have went by me, but I didn't gather it. According to her, it was a success. Yeah, it was a successful curriculum. So yeah, with that said, what was the question? Hey, y'all married. What was the question?
Yeah, so can you consider a marriage a success?
Oh, thank you,
even if you've had a divorce?
Yeah, absolutely not. The only I'll just mix it up by saying, yeah, if he theoretically cheated on her, and she got a divorce, then yeah, I can maybe theoretically say that was a success for Tia, because you don't want to be with a person who's abusing you. Who's abusing? Yeah, that's abuse. Cheating is abuse. Yeah. So I would spin it and say, yeah, if he cheated on you, if he's putting his hands on you, if he's not repenting from his sins or from his wrongdoings, then yeah, it'll be a success. Because even though our Creator hates divorce, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to stick through it all the way with somebody who does not deserve to be with you.
100%. And that's not what we're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
If you're going through any type of abuse with somebody, we are not saying you need to stick it out, right?
No.
But what we're kind of focusing on here is that a lot of times we're not hearing any of this information from these ladies, right? For the most part, we're hearing, well, I was no longer happy, things were mundane, I grew, I evolved.
I hear that.
I did the curriculum, and now I graduated. Now, hey, we graduated. I don't know. So
I'm gonna steal one of your quotes. You said happiness, it was an emotion. It comes and goes.
It does.
Yeah, and when you look at the word emotion itself, it's got the word motion. It's in motion. Movement, like our feelings are in movement. They come and they go. Like I'm not smiling like this every time. Like I don't feel like that all the time. And if I did, you'd probably think I was fake.
Exactly.
And I do kind of think that's fake. I mean, all the time, every time.
Yeah.
As the Bible says, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time to cry. There's a time to be angry. There's a time to smile.
100%. So to get into a marriage and thinking that you're just always going to be happy all the time, it's unrealistic. So I don't think we need to paint that picture, right? We don't need to paint the picture of, hey, I'm just happy all the time. Like, who's happy all the time? Like my husband said.
Like the Joker. He's a villain.
Exactly. Like my husband said, it will come off strange and weird if someone was just happy. Like they're acting like they've just never had a sad moment or a down moment in their life. Like I've never experienced that. It's kind of like, okay, we know you're lying,
Bro, you just lost your job. You gonna smile about it?
Yeah.
You just got fired. For not coming to work on time all the time.
Man,
you gonna smile about that?
So yeah. So I agree. No. I don't think that you can consider you can consider your marriage a success if you end in divorce, especially if it wasn't for any of the reasons like we had mentioned before, any sort of abuse or cheating, then that's a different story. But if it's just, I'm no longer happy and I've outgrown this situation, but our marriage was a success, it's kind of like, who are you trying to fool? You trying to fool me or you trying to fool you?
I think she's definitely trying to fool herself. I'm not fooled.
Me either.
I'm not boo-boo the fool here.
Not at all. So we are going to dive into another clip. This clip is from the Pivot podcast. This is with Cory Hardrict and the gentleman. There are some football players. Who were they, baby?
Yeah, I don't watch football no more, so please don't ask me about the game. Don't ask me who won. I don't know. I don't care, respectfully. But I remember, football players back in the day. Ryan Clark. I remember he played for the Steelers. I'm gonna get their names. So wait. What's his name? Fred Taylor. And I'm going off the top of the dome. Yeah, Fred Taylor and Crowder. What's his first name? Let me scroll down. Chico right here. It's been a while, family. I ain't watched football, and my wife is my witness. I ain't watched football in a long time. Yeah. Channing Crowder. Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor. Just want to make sure I get the names correctly.
Yeah.
But I do remember them from back in the day when I used to watch football. But it's been a while, and it's good to see them having their show. You know, because hey, football, you know, the season's last short. You know, not a lot of football players don't have, you know, long careers, but you know, they've had success in their career. But I like the pivot. I like the pivot. I like
it's the Pivot Podcast.
Show.
So yeah, they're talking about a little bit about, you know, how Cory Hardrict has been doing during this time. So let's go ahead on and dig into the clip.
Listen, panel, you said you couldn't sleep for a year and a half or something, and that you cried for a lot of that time. How difficult was that period in life for you? Because we know as men and as black men, we're starting to get into a space where we talk about not only mental health, but emotional health.
Right.
And we've learned ways to be vulnerable and open. But to share that in a room full of people, I mean, that's something that you felt deeply. How did you find a way to get through that time while also having to still be a father, a provider,
Right.
and do your job?
You know, I feel like you'll never get through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of praying, a lot of knowing that God is real. God is actually truly real in my life. A lot of stillness, man. When you sit still a lot, you know, you can hear a lot of things. For me, a lot of isolation, solitude, and just knowing, you know, if I can just put one foot in front of the other, you know, and take it a day at a time. Because I'm taking a day at a time, still to this day.
Really?
Yeah, I just take it a day at a time.
Wow. Yeah. What I noticed right away is the difference between this interview that he did on the Pivot Podcast and the one that Tia did on the Today Show. You know, there's no smiles on this one. Cory, he looks like he's just being very thoughtful when he's speaking. He's not laughing at all. And he's just reflecting on, you know, the situation that he's in now.
Yes, and when Ryan Clark is speaking to Cory, you know, I like how you know, how respectful and how sensitive he was, because this is a very serious topic.
Yeah.
And just the whole mood definitely is definitely a shift from what we just watched with Tia's interview. 100%. Now I will say, you know, me just being objective and being observant, it is a different setting. Mm-hmm. Tia, to be fair, that is in front of a live audience. Sometimes being in front of a live audience, it can cause the speakers to, you know, give off a different energy.
It's
you know?
true.
So like Tia was not being interviewed in this type of manner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something to note, you know. Whatever, if you want to bash me or disagree, that's fine. But as we see in the Pivot, this is serious right here.
Yeah.
And he's definitely going through it, you know, a day at a time. And like he said, I mean, admitting that, you know, he's cried.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Like, I don't cry. At least not in front of y'all. And not in front of you either. Like, look, there's a secret. There's something called the bathroom. If you start to feel like, you know, you start to crack, just go to the bathroom. You feel like you go. If you start to cry, just go to the bathroom. And that way you don't gotta look like you don't gotta look weak. Now I'm just playing with you, but to be serious, like there's that persona that men are not supposed to cry. And you know, as a man, I can resonate, you know, with that energy in regards to, you don't want to look weak. You don't want to be perceived as, you know, weak or sensitive. But this is serious. When it comes to divorce, like there are certain times where I believe a man should cry. Like death, like losing a loved one. A divorce, absolutely. And I'm sure there's other scenarios as well that I'm not thinking on the top of my head. But this right here, this is something that, you know, it's caused him to cry, which that takes a lot of courage to admit it to the world that, you know, this caused you to break into tears, and also too that you're healing through it, and it's day by day, and it's been over a year and a half that you're bearing the suffering, and like it's like, man, you can feel it, right? And like
for sure, you know, I definitely feel for him. Mm-hmm. You could tell, you know, that, you know, from what he's saying, that things haven't been easy for him, right? Because he could have just as well came on the podcast, had a completely different tone, And he could have said some of the same, things that we were hearing from Tia. He could have said, well, hey, it was a success for me, and yada, 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 right? He could have said that. Like, he didn't have to admit that he does not have to admit that he was going through pain. He does not have to admit that he was crying.
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good by myself.
I'm single.
I'm single. I'm ready to mingle. You feel me?
Because we see
that.
You
didn't get that from Cory.
No. And we see that message being pushed, especially for our men in our community, that, you're just supposed to be strong all the time. You're never supposed to cry. You're never supposed to shed a tear. You're never supposed to act like anything affects you.
That's wrong, because the Messiah cried.
Exactly.
He cried. When Lazarus died, he cried.
Exactly.
This is the Messiah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I changed that tune. But I think that we shouldn't be just crying over everything. We shouldn't be boo-hooing. Just because we saw a romantic movie, you gotta bust some tears. I think that's I don't know, bro. You might have to get some therapy or something, or hang around some real masculine men so that they can correct that respectfully. I don't think men should be crying over romantic movies. I guess there's certain man laws, right? Remember that commercial? Man law? There's certain man laws, like crying over a scary, or crying over a romantic movie, or, you watch a scary movie and I'm on your shoulder and I'm screaming, and there's certain things, as a male, you gotta at least represent, strength and courage, and not to say that we don't get afraid, because that's part of the human experience. We're going to experience fear. It's not being afraid, it's what you do with that fear. But I give him a lot of credit for being honest, and being vulnerable, and sharing, what he's going through with the world, and I really appreciate that. But I definitely changed the whole perspective that men are not supposed to cry. I just don't think men should be boohooing all the time. There's a time and a place to cry. There's a time to cry. So, and in a serious matter like this, well, according to Tia, this is a successful divorce or a successful marriage. So I don't know. You think maybe he's crying out of joy? Tia laugh.
I know.
No, you think he's gonna joy?
Not to try to make his.
Not take a chance with
that. Not to try to laugh at his pain.
No. Don't get me out of pocket. No, I'm just looking for some humor somewhere.
Yeah, right. Because it is.
I mean, look at his body language, the way he's speaking. It's totally devastating to hear.
Yeah, it's super, super devastating. And. No, I don't think that he was laughing.
This is not tears of joy?
I don't think it was tears of joy for him.
Like Michael Jordan winning when he won his first championship, when he was kissing and holding it?
I don't think that's how he was going about it.
Oh, one of them type of tears, huh? Yeah, you win the Super Bowl, you win the, for all the success, all the hustle, and all the work, and all the dedication that you put in, and discipline. Yeah, I mean, there's a time to have tears of joy, but I'm sorry, family. I took a chance. I swing. I don't know if I hit or not. I think I hit on one, but if you ask me, I knocked it out the park.
No, you sure did, baby.
No. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But you could definitely see that, he's been going through it. Like he could have played like, oh well, I'm cool. I'm out here living my life. Like a lot of the message that is pushed to our men nowadays is that, right? Like, don't have any feelings, don't have any care, don't care about your woman or whatever the case may be. And it's like, no, that's not true. That's fake. That's false, right? So, I mean, I guess what we're saying is that we need to start normalizing that men have emotions too, that men can be sad from divorce, men can be sad and different times, right? Like men can cry too, and men should not feel like they have to hold everything in and just pretend, because that's what you're doing. Right. You're pretending that you never get sad, that you never get down, and that you're pretending that a woman can affect you, and at the end of the day, like, it's okay. Like,
wow, that resonated with me. Wow, thank you for saying that. Yeah, because it seems like society tries to make it seem like men are not supposed to have feelings. Men are not supposed to be sensitive. It's like, or to be vulnerable. But no, like, we're human beings. Like, we have emotions as well, and we go through struggles and trials and tribulations, and we should be able to talk about it. And therapy is helpful. Speaking with somebody that you trust. Speaking with a Mowry, which is Hebrew for a teacher, or or a minister that you really trust, or a loved one, a family member. With your spouse, like, baby, like, you give me a lot of therapy, like.
You give me a lot too,
thank you for putting up with myself. Like, she puts up with myself. I tell you, like, so, like, I can definitely I can resonate with him being vulnerable, because I feel like that I'm vulnerable with you, but at times I do bottle up things, and I feel like I got it all under control. But honestly, it's gonna come out, it's gonna burst out at the wrong time. So it's important that we don't do that. We don't bottle up all this negative energy and all these negative things. Let's meditate. Let's speak to the Most High.
Yes.
Let's let's make sure that we're not sinning, we're not doing the wrong thing, that our anger and our frustration is causing us to sin, but that also too, we're sharing our frustration, we're getting our thoughts out, and it starts with conversations. And I really like the point that he made about black men. You don't see that common where black men are being vulnerable and expressing our feelings. I think that's important. The media, they try to make it seem like we don't have any feelings, but this is actually helpful. It's medicine for us to speak with people who can relate to our struggles and that are listening to us, and also too can encourage us and help us. And I encourage us all, like, we all need some therapy, at some level, some form. So hey, 100%. Get some help. Speak about it. Get your feelings out. And that's why I really appreciate it with you. As you see, this isn't it for me.
Me too.
Yeah. But yeah, for sure. So I'm glad he said that.
Yes. Let's start normalizing talking about how we feel, right? Let's start normalizing going to therapy, working on ourselves, working on our inside, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's completely normal. We all need to get certain things out. We all need to,
There's some trauma. There's some things that trigger you. We got to get down to the root cause.
Yes.
And one of those ways you can do that is with speaking to somebody who's qualified to help you. And I'm glad that he's pushing that narrative, because in the black community, like our community, we don't push therapy. We're seeing that recently. We're seeing more of we're going to use the word awakening, as Tia used earlier. It sounds like more like the awakening to me. But honestly, this is the awakening. This right here, what we just saw, is the awakening. 100%. We have to have therapy. We have to seek therapy. We have to seek help. And we have to, as it says in the scriptures, we have to seek counsel.
Wise counsel.
Thank you. Yes. So thank you, baby. Thank you. We have to seek wise counsel. So this is what I'm encouraged, and that he's pushing this message, because this is the message that we have to push, even though at the same time it's got to be tough, it's got to be hard, because he's looking vulnerable, he's looking quote unquote weak in front of the world, but to me he actually looks strong.
That's strength, right? 100%. Well, we're gonna dig a little bit more into the video, fam.
Black men have feelings. Black men hurt. Black men are in pain, and sometimes we don't have outlets to, talking to you now. No one really asked me these questions. Never, really. So it's like sometimes we feel like we're dealing with it alone, not unless you have a therapist or a close confidant or friend. But it's not easy, because it feels like as a black man, you can't show vulnerability to the world, because it's a form of weakness. But it should be looked at as a form of strength. Men do need to cry, because when it's all bottled up, and inside, that's when stress, things can happen, different tensions. You got to be able to have an outlet to release. Like I said, that's the only way that you can get to the true healing of everything. So, when I was speaking in Miami, that's just how I felt at the time. So to this day, I look at my kids and say, Daddy got you forever. I look at my daughter, when they smile at me and they know Daddy really loves them. My son knows Daddy really loves me. That's what brings me joy right now. And that's what keeps me saying, I'm on my way. I want to.
Wow, I just like to say, all glory to God. All glory to God. Wow. Praise God. That was powerful.
That was so powerful. He mentioned a lot of things, kind of like what we were saying. How getting getting your feelings out, right? Getting those frustrations out so that they don't build up into other things, right? And then, sometimes we wonder why we have dis-ease, right? Dis-ease. We wonder, well, part of that could be because we are letting all these emotions, our feelings, we're just keeping them bottled up, especially our men, right? Because there's been this message pushed that, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to have any emotions. But that's fake. That's not realistic, and it's causing issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that was a message. Like, that makes me want to preach. Because it's powerful, it's real,
Yeah.
It's real, like we do have feelings. And yeah, I mean, that narrative is pushed, not just in the media, but also in our community too.
Yeah,
we push
100%.
that narrative that, black men are to be have no feelings or just invincible and, I'm hard all the time. Like, I'm hard. Like, no, that's, no. But yeah, that was powerful. Wow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, what do you think, why do you think this message is promoted so much, especially in our community?
When you say the message...
this message of, like, men not having any emotions or not having any heartbreak or anything like that. Like, why do you think, especially in our community, it's really promoted to not have those feelings or those emotions?
Well, that's one of those lean back in the chair to think about. Man, that's a good question. I know, why is that narrative pushed, right? And yeah, you say modern culture. Why do you think modern culture? I mean, I might sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. I'm gonna pretend to be like one. This is not a tinfoil hat. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I think because they know that it's destructive to the family.
Wow.
It's destructive to the black family. It's just destructive to any family, just to keep it a buck, but we do see this common theme, this common idea of, black men are to be invincible all the time and have no emotions. I think it's by design, by the media, because it doesn't lead to a successful marriage. So yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I know. I told you I was gonna sound like a conspiracy theorist, but yeah, I think there's a reasoning behind it. Like there's a scheme behind it.
There's always a reasoning behind certain messages.
Because like you said, like if you bottle in all this negative energy, you bottle up all these times that you've been done wrong, and then you haven't expressed it. You haven't, because it says in the scripture to confess your sins with one another. If you're not confessing these things, if you're not communicating these things, especially with your spouse, it can lead into domestic violence. It can lead into cheating. It can lead into all other kinds of sins.
Yeah.
And so like I think it's by design. They know that it's destructive to the family. If men are supposed to be without any feelings, without any emotions, and you're supposed to just get over it, bottle it up. Like that's a common thing too. Just get over it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And they push that narrative in our community a lot. Like, oh, just get over it. And that's a whole nother tangent that I want to go down, but I won't. I'll stay on topic. My wife is, you're gonna let me know. Stay on topic. You're gonna set me straight. But as they push, it's like, when it comes to like the past and comes to slavery, oh, just get over it. Like, but no, I mean, we're gonna talk about reparations. We're not, but I mean. It's due. Reparations is due. It's something you just don't get over. So, for us to go through, like being done wrong, and you're bottling up all this negative energy, you're bottling up all these times that you've been done wrong, you're bottling up trauma, experiences that happen to you that you're just holding on to. Like it can cause you to react. It can cause you to sin.
Yeah. And it can cause negative effects on your body internally, right? We don't realize how much power we have, especially with our thoughts and the things that we think on and the things that we don't let out. Those things can bottle up into us and start causing, like I was saying before, diseases.
Dis-ease, like I said, dis-ease. Oh, no, just get over it. Just get over it. No, you the man. You're supposed to just get over that. It's not even supposed to affect you. Like, no effect at all.
Yeah.
Even though words do affect. When they say sticks and stones can't... How the old saying go?
Yeah,
I forgot.
Sticks and stones won't break my bones, but words could not... What is it?
Yeah.
But word...
Sticks and stones may
break my bones, but words could never hurt me.
Yeah, that's it. Words would never hurt me.
Yeah,
words are actually matter. Scientifically speaking.
They sure are. They're energy.
Yeah, the energy. It's actually matter.
Uh-huh.
And biblically, the Creator spoke the world into existence.
Yes.
And the word, see now,
I love
just
that.
a little bit. Can we just go on just a
Yeah.
little bit? We go in just a little bit. Okay, like the word in Hebrew, it doesn't just mean like just a word.
Uh-huh.
It means matter.
Yes.
It also means thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like it can mean a word. It can mean a word, like a verbal word, or it can mean matter, or it can mean thing, a thing. So yeah, there's power in your words.
100%.
And one of the ways that we can get healing, especially in our community, is by speaking.
Yes.
We have to get our feelings out. We have to vent. It's actually part of meditation. Like from a Hebrew standpoint, a biblical standpoint, biblical meditation requires a person to muse over their murmurs. You have to like speak out, your feelings. Even talking to yourself is a form of meditation as well. You're not crazy if you talk to yourself. So anybody that tells you you're crazy for talking to yourself, just tell them that they're crazy.
Okay, you have to be able to get things out. You got to be able to talk to yourself, right?
And also part of biblical meditation is speaking with one another.
Uh-huh.
Like when you give me therapy and you helping me out, that's part of meditation from a Hebrew standpoint. And we are to murmur, we are to speak these things out because words have matter. Words are actually things. Hebraically speaking, when it comes to the Hebrew, words are actual matter. They're actual things.
100%.
And there's power in words. They're vibrations. The Creator spoke the world into existence.
Yes.
So like we have to start speaking about our trauma. We have to start speaking about our trials and tribulations. We need to stop holding on to it. But in order for our community, for us to heal, we have to speak on it. We have to speak with people that we trust and that we love.
100%, right? We should be speaking on the things that, if someone's doing you wrong, speak on it, right? If there's something that you're not happy about, speak on it, right? Don't hold on to it, right? That's where all the issues happen. The issues happen when we're holding on to it, right? Mm-hmm. But we also don't want to dwell in those negative thoughts and those negative feelings. That's why when you speak it out, get it out, right? Release it from you. Like when you're speaking, just release it out. Just release it out. And now it's gone, right? Yeah. Now it's gone. Now it should no longer have an effect on you, right? Because you've let it go. And now you can have positive things.
So you can cuss out a storm when you get mad?
Yeah.
Sugar, honey, iced tea. Oh, gosh darn.
Yeah, hey, you can be angry, but just don't sin.
There you go. Hey, all right.
You can be angry, but just don't sin. So yeah,
we're not encouraging nobody to curse nobody out.
No, we're not.
Because that can be interpreted a whole nother way.
It definitely can. It definitely can, family. So yeah, don't be afraid to let out how you're feeling, right? Of course, you're going to want to be cautious. You're not going to want to just start, talking to your spouse any old kind of way and tearing them down. That's not what we're saying. Right. But if you are feeling like there's something that's not right, let it out, right? Let it out. But then don't dwell on it anymore, right? Then go ahead on and start thinking on those good things that it says for us in the Bible, right? Thinking on what's lovely, thinking on what's good, thinking on what's pure, right? Because that will help restore you, right? Because when we're holding on to that negative stuff, that's breaking us down.
Right.
But when we start thinking about those positive things, that's building us up. That's helping us, right? Because like my husband said, that's matter, right? That's energy right there. Everything is energy, right? So the things that we're saying, the things that we're speaking, that's energy, right? It's vibration. It's vibrations, right? So just... This definitely got into something that we didn't.
No, I know we're going all deep,
right?
We're going deep,
but it's true, family. And a lot of times we're not talking about this in our community. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about how much our words have effect on us, right? We're not talking about that vibrational energy that our words really do have. They do have an effect on us, family. So, yeah, that was a little bit of that.
Absolutely. Wow. You want to go ahead and get to the next clip?
Yes, we'll go ahead on and get off into the next clip. All right, family. So in this clip, it's Tia on her new show, My Next Act. And this was the sneak peek. And so she talked about a lot of different things in this one. So we're going to dig into it right now.
One of the challenging things about going through a divorce with a child is there are times when I do hide my pain. I will put a smile on my face even though I am frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, and I'm just not feeling great.
Listen, we are almost at your daddy's house, okay?
I like going to daddy's.
I know you like going to daddy's.
I feel like one of the hardest things that I've had to adapt to is dropping my kids off at their dad's house. I've always wanted the family dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household. And when you're dropping your kids off, you actually visually see how that is no longer.
We're about to go to daddy's house now.
Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish.
Wow.
Yeah, so clearly we can see a difference from this clip and...
Wait, this is Tia?
Yeah.
It's not Tamara?
That's Tia.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. This is a whole different person.
Yeah.
From the first video that we just seen.
It is.
Is y'all seen that way? Would you agree?
100%, right? 100%. She has changed up her tone for sure on this one.
That was a complete reversal.
Yeah, she really started talking about how tough it really is now that she is divorced, right? Now she has to drop her kids off at their father's house, Now, she's lonely. Now she's expressed how she wanted her kids to grow up in a two-family household, two-parent household, right? And so, now that's not their reality. That's not the reality that her kids live in. And as we can see, she was actually crying.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be objective. Can I flip the script?
Please do.
Do you think she was acting in this one?
Do I think she was acting?
Yeah, for her new show, her new reality show. You know how reality shows can be. They go 0 to 100. Next minute you be real happy. Next minute you be in tears. Next minute you be mad.
100% right. I think that obviously it's possible that she's acting, right? But I don't think she is acting. I think she was actually being vulnerable and just being honest, right? I mean, it should affect you the fact that it should affect you the fact that now your kids don't have mom and dad in the house. Like I would say that should affect you. Being a single mom is not easy, right? I mean, I'm sure the single moms out there will say like it's not easy. It's a lot of stress and emotions that can come along with that, and she spoke on being lonely as well. And obviously, if you're no longer with your husband, you're no longer with somebody that's with you on the day-to-day, helping you through all the different things. And that's the thing that we sometimes forget about when we're married. Like, you got somebody that's really helping you out every day, all day, Like, there's times where my husband, he'll say like, babe, are you okay? Because it's like he feels that something's off with me. And so he's going to check in on me and try to see like what's going on, right? And it's like, now that person's no longer there, it's like, man, you're alone. Because yeah, your friends might check in on you, but they got their own lives too. So,
well, baby, you got a spidey sense. Like you when I'm down. It's something I'm going through something. When I'm holding in something. It's all written all over my face. But even like when I try not to, like you just like sense it. Like you have like this spidey sense.
We sense each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we're one, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we know each other so well.
It's kind of scary at times.
It
like,
is.
how do you know? Like,
how do you know?
Like,
I thought I was hiding that.
Yeah, like,
feeling.
no, I got it together, I got my emotions. I don't have emotions. Matter of fact, I don't have emotions.
No,
that's what we're trained not to have.
Don't do that, family. But yeah,
men are emotional too.
100%. But yeah, I feel like she changed her tone a lot on this one. And I feel like she's actually being vulnerable.
You know what, babe? I 100% agree with you. Yeah, for sure. To me, this seemed authentic.
Yeah.
This seemed real. And then also, too, seeing their child's reaction, that lets you know right there, like, man, he's a good father. Like,
yeah. Her child said, like, I like going over daddy's.
Yeah, you see that? Like, man, that's just...
And now what? There could be a competition thing.
Who's a better parent? Who's a better co-parent?
Yeah,
because they're co-parenting now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
whose house is better? Oh man.
I would have kind of assumed she makes more money here.
I mean, I would assume. But
they both been in the industry a long time. They've
Yeah.
both been acting for a long time.
Yeah, but what I will say is that with Tia, she's probably quite busy with her recording schedule. So, how much quality time is she able to spend with her kids? Is she actually able to take her kids out to places like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that? I mean, she's a very well-known celebrity. Whereas, like, the husband, obviously he's very well-known too.
Absolutely.
But I feel like he might blend in a little bit more than Tia.
I'm going to take a drink to that. Dang, man. I'm kidding. Nah, but that was a great movie we saw with Tyler Perry.
It sure
Man,
was.
we saw that movie together.
That was he's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Tyler Perry too. I know it's people either hate him or love him. I know this is our own community too. Either hate him or love him. I respect Tyler Perry for sure for the opportunities that he created.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because as some of us may know, in the acting industry, it's not always easy, especially for Black actors. So he definitely provides, jobs for people. So hey,
literally, we drove by when we went to Atlanta. We drove by. It was my first time going to Atlanta, but his whole Tyler Perry studio.
Yeah, he had like a whole 2-3.
It's probably bigger than some cities or some towns.
It's huge.
Yeah.
His spot out there. So shout out big.
But he nailed it though. Like Cory was.
Yeah.
I was completely convinced. Like we said, he's been in the industry a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always been been great at his craft at acting. But
Yeah.
man, he nailed that. Like I was like.
He sure did. And it was
Yeah,
nice.
shout out to Megan Good too.
100%.
For being the connect.
Yes, for sure. Helping him out to get that role.
Right.
And I believe we're going to be seeing him a lot more now, And
this might actually help his career, I think.
I think so, right? Yeah. I think so. And don't get me wrong, I think they're both using this for their career, if we're going to be honest.
She got a whole spinoff.
She got a whole spinoff,
show,
so, but outside of just the things that you can get, because, the world's going to reward you when you're not, necessarily doing what the Most High wants you to do, if we're going to be honest, right? That's good. But deep down, we know that both of them are going through it, right? Mm-hmm. As we've seen in this clip with Tia, we know she's also going through it, right? She's going through it now because now you're realizing, like, the reality. And the reality is it's not easy. The reality is a divorce really isn't a graduation or a celebration. Like, the day in and day out, they're not easy like they used to be. And what I kind of think, too, is that Cory, and this is just speculation, complete speculation, family.
Uh-oh, here we go.
But I think that Cory was probably the one taking care of the kids day in and day out, while Tia was on, all her different shows. Think about it. She was on The Game. She was on, talk shows. Different, her and her sister had, their reality show. So I feel like Cory probably was the person that was really with the kids doing the homework day in and day out. Not to say that Tia wasn't, but we know she's busy, right? So
the greatest thing you can give somebody, in my opinion, is your time.
Yes.
It's not even necessarily money. Well, that make you happy for a minute. Well, that make you happy, but I mean, how long is that going to last?
How long is it going to last?
How long is that relationship going to last if it's just based on money? Eventually, the truth is going to come out. Something going to happen out. Something messy going to happen. If you built your relationship on money and just money alone.
It's facts.
Yeah, but and I said earlier, like who we were talking about whose house is better. Well, I mean, just having a bigger house and making more money doesn't make a house better. Especially
not the children, if we're gonna be honest, because with kids, what do they want? They want that quality time with mom and dad. They want to, play tag and wrestle and all types of stuff. You know how kids are.
Even if it's a 1-bedroom apartment. A 2-bedroom apartment.
It's a fact, right?
Yeah.
So just because the house has more rooms in it, and I'm sure Cory's house ain't shabby. Let's be real. I'm sure he's not living in a box.
Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. No. He's like living in the jet, something like that. When he go home, he got to throw up all the gang signs.
No, man.
No, I don't know if this means anything, so I'm sorry. Sorry. I was just joking. So I know how we can get. Man.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not that type of environment.
No.
At least I don't think, right?
No, I'm sure the divorce settlement to Tia was decent.
Yeah.
You know, if he took anything, but I don't know.
Oh, well, I know. You don't usually see that, huh?
I mean, she's a breadwinner, so it does happen sometimes with women. I mean, and we've seen it with
the
Mary
like,
J. Blige and Halle Berry. You know, they
I want half. Like, yeah, you don't usually hear that, huh?
Hey, sometimes you do. It can work both ways sometimes.
Yeah, that's what, hey, successful women, watch out. Successful single women that care about their happiness only, watch out.
Man, watch out. Be careful.
Hey, it's 2024, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely a sign of the times.
It's a sign of the times, family. Well, I do have a question for you. So, do you think that divorce is the cure to unhappiness?
Absolutely. No, I'm just kidding. I have to throw a curveball in there. Let me. I'm one of those. I gotta read the question again. You know, where's the question at? So I can read. Oh, do you believe divorce is the cure for unhappiness? No. So if you were to get a divorce, is that going to cure you from not being happy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, apparently not for Tia. I mean, she's miserable. You know, they're both going through it. You know, so
yeah.
It's not the cure for unhappiness. So if you're unhappy, you're to get a divorce that's going to make you happy. Like, no, it's going to take more than that. I think we have to realize what happiness is first.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. We have to come to definition.
Yeah.
We have to come to terms. Happiness is an emotion. It comes and goes, as we referenced earlier.
Uh-huh.
I think joy is what we have to see. Because joy allows you to be content and be good, to have peace. I'm flex a little bit. To have shalom within. You know, to have shalom within. Whether if you have a lot, you know, or whether if you don't have a lot. Like, you can be miserable, you can be unhappy, and be a millionaire. We see this. I mean, man, it's sad what happened with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know, but that's an example where you can have a successful career, you can have a lot of money, a lot of fame, you know, a lot of options as far as, you know, choose, you know, whoever you want to choose as, you know, your mate or whatever. But the thing is, that doesn't make you happy. Like, that doesn't give you joy. That can make you happy at the moment, but then, you know, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be empty. Like, it's an empty void. So we have to fill that emptiness with joy and joy, and no matter what situation we're in, you know, through bad times, you know, through good times, we have to seek joy. And, you know, it is a mindset to have joy. It also takes practice to have joy.
Yeah.
It does. It takes work. It's like bodybuilding or losing weight or getting into shape, you know, wherever the example may be.
Yeah.
It takes effort on our part to remember that we have abundance, that we have joy, and we get it from the Creator.
Yes.
We get it from the Creator. And also, too, joy allows us to appreciate everything that we do have.
Yeah.
So, and also, it also helps us to enjoy the process. Because, you know, like, we're all going, you know, many of us, I hope, you know, that many of us, you know, are going through a journey where, you know, you're seeking after, you know, a destination.
Yeah.
You're seeking the results that you want, wherever they may be, whether it be business, whether it be, you know, getting into shape, you know, putting on muscle, whatever, you know, endeavor, whatever passion that you have a destination.
Yeah.
But joy will allow us to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Because, family, it's all about the journey. Because within the journey, within the struggles, you know, you starting that business and you know, you're not getting business, you're not getting customers, and you're spending a lot of money on advertisement, and you're not really making any money. But the journey is actually, that's where the beauty is at. That's where the blessing is at.
Sure.
The blessings are in the journey, because that's how our character is built.
Yeah.
The Most High is building our character by putting us through tests, by refining our faith through the fire. So we have to seek joy.
Yeah.
Joy is what we should seek. not just happiness. I mean, happiness is important. You know, I like to be happy, but we realize what it is. Like, there's times where you shouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
There's times where you should cry. You should be sad. There's times where you should be upset as well.
Uh-huh.
So, like, we have to just remember to come to definitions, you know, with what happiness is and understand it. But we have to seek joy. And, you know, it takes some practice. It's going to take some faith.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, let's focus on that. Yeah, because, like, faith is something that, like, you can't see. You know the verse that I'm talking about.
Yep.
Faith is the evidence
of things not seen, right?
Right,
so
right.
We have to have that faith 100%, and we have to have the joy. Like my husband said, first and foremost, that was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
That breakdown he just did, okay. Donation.
Joy and pain, sunshine,
hey, sing it, baby.
and rain.
But yeah, no, that was amazing. Amazing breakdown that you just did right there, baby. But yeah, family, you know, you're not always going to be happy, right? But you should always have joy, right? And one of the ways that we can also have this joy and find this joy is to journal, right? Let's journal the things that we're happy about, or even just speaking the things that we're happy about, right? Like, wow, I'm so thankful I woke up this morning. Wow, I'm so thankful I have a roof over my head, right? All these little things that sometimes we can become like, just like, oh, that's just, you know, that's just every day, you know, like unappreciative of, you know. It's easy to get into those routines where you just feel like, well, that's just how it is. But no, like, that's a blessing, right? And when you think about all the blessings that you really do have here in this life, you really have no reason to be in an upset state for a very long period of time, right? Because we are blessed, right? We are blessed in your marriage, right? If you're going through struggles in your marriage, just know that that's part of the journey, right? That journey is going to make you and your spouse stronger. It's supposed to make you all come together, come closer, and seek the Most High. So I think it's important for us to understand that just because you're going through something in your marriage doesn't mean that, like, your marriage has failed. It doesn't mean that, like, you're never going to be able to get into a happy place anymore. No, it just means that it's a time for you all to work on yourselves, right? And to seek the Most High. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to come out of the darkness into the light, right? So I just think it's important for us to be mindful, family. Don't always seek after the temporary happiness, but seek after joy.
Wow, that was beautiful. Wow.
Yes.
That was fire, baby.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, baby.
Well, pass the plate around. Where's all? Pass the offering.
No, I think you did that. The way you broke yours down, baby.
We getting it in. That's how we break it down.
Well, I do have another question for you. So, why do you think modern culture prioritizes individualism over the family unit?
Modern culture hates the family unit, especially the black family unit. Yeah, modern culture, quote unquote, the culture. You know, and that term is one of those terms that, you know, is, you know, misrepresented, abused.
Yeah.
I almost don't even like saying the culture anymore, just because it's been hijacked. It's, you know, it's been appropriated. It's been, you know, it's been, you know, remixed and changed, and all kinds of things have been injected into the culture. But modern culture hates the family unit. They do not want to see the black family strive. That's why we have to be mindful of the music we listen to, because a lot of it is destructive.
Yes.
A lot of it is poison. A lot of it is like that poison, like the Mickeys that they put it, you know, in your cup. You know, they're trying to intoxicate you. They're trying to intoxicate you. They're trying to intoxicate you with lies. They're trying to get you to think that it's all about your happiness, your pride, instead of the family.
Yes.
Like, our happiness should be connected to our family's happiness.
100%.
Our happiness, our individual happiness is important.
Yes.
But, like, as the old saying goes, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. All right? So, if you ain't happy, I ain't happy. And married men, you know that's facts.
Insane.
It's not a happy home if wife ain't happy.
Insane for me, right?
Yeah.
If my
your
husband,
children ain't happy, you want to make sure everybody's good.
Everybody's good, right? I agree with you, babe. Like, we're so caught up in ourselves, it seems like nowadays, that we don't realize how much joy there is in being selfless, right? There's a joy and a great feeling, great satisfaction in being selfless, right? In giving to people, you know, and giving to others. I mean, look at Yahusha, who people call Jesus, right?
Yes,
He sacrificed himself, his life, right, for us. So
speak on
when
it.
we
talk about it.
When we are just focused on ourselves, focused on how we're feeling at the time, we're missing the point, family. We're missing what we're really supposed to be doing, which is we're supposed to be a living sacrifice, right? We're supposed to be helping other people out. We're supposed to be looking after other people, you know, and making sure that others are good, you know. That's not to say just completely neglect yourself, but there's good happiness in serving others. So I just think we need to realize that when we're serving other people, we're actually getting more blessings for ourselves.
Okay, well, I need to go buy an offering. Wow. And you said the Messiah.
Yes.
He says you want to be great, you have to serve.
Yes.
The Messiah is also known as the suffering servant.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our happiness comes with service, with helping others.
Yes.
Like for me, you know, having the opportunity to help somebody, it's a blessing that we're able to have something that we can share with somebody. Let's recognize that. Yes. Just because we're able to help somebody, it's not all about us. It's not all about you. It's not all about me. Be thankful that you have something to share. You have something to give that will help, that will bless somebody.
Yeah.
Because remember, it ain't from you. It's from the Most High.
100%.
So yeah, babe, wow. But yeah, it's all about service. Service, actually, is what makes us happy.
It is. Yeah. It is. We forgot that. You know, somewhere along the lines in this individualism, we forgot that when we serve others and when we give to other people, that actually creates joy within ourselves, right? Because when you're so focused on yourself, me, guess what? You're never going to be satisfied. Because now you're just focusing on your flesh. Now you're focusing on what your desires are, right? And let's be real, you're never going to be able to quench those.
No, you're going to be a junkie.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're always be turned out. You're going to be a turned out trick.
Because your flesh is never satisfied, right? But when we look at how we can serve others, oh, now that is when we start feeling that joy. Because now, you know, you help somebody out. Imagine them saying, wow, thank you so much. I needed that.
Right.
I needed that, right? People just thanking you and being so happy that you were able to help them in a time of need, right? So I just think we have to start changing this. It needs to be all about me, myself, and I, and how I'm feeling at the time. Because ultimately, like we see with Tia, I'm sorry, but we can see that she's still not happy. Even though she might have thought that divorce was going to be her cure, her answer to happiness. Well, hey, we see in this clip, she doesn't look that happy to me.
No, not at all. No, the real Tia came out. And I hope the best, you know, for Cory. I hope the best for Tia. I hope the best, you know, for their family, for their children. I know they're divorced, you know, they're co-parenting, but I just believe that there's always hope, right? At the end of the day. It's like, they're divorced, and you know, divorce. In this situation, I do not see it as a success, as a curriculum. No, it's a disappointment, and yeah, she's come to realize that, as we see.
Yeah, and that happens, family. You know, it's like that old saying. You know, the same things that make you laugh be the same things that make you cry, and it's true, right?
Wait, say that again.
I
don't think they heard you, baby. You know.
The same things that'll make you laugh will be the same things to make you cry, right? And as we can see, she was happy and excited about it when she first was talking about it, but now when that reality sets in, it's a whole different tune, family. And let me tell you, it reminds me of a couple of verses in the Bible. Deuteronomy 23:21 through 23.
Bring it out.
It says, if you make a vow to the Lord your God, do not be slow to pay it, for the Lord your God will certainly demand it of you, and you will be guilty of sin. You will be guilty of sin, okay? But if you refrain from making a vow, you will not be guilty. Whatever your lips utter, you must be sure to do, because you made your vow freely to the Lord your God with your own mouth. Right? So when you're entering into a marriage, you're making a vow before God into your spouse, right? So we're supposed to be keeping this vow. If we don't keep this vow, we're sinning, family. We are sinning. And we know what sin leads to, right? It leads to destruction. So I think we need to be very mindful when we are doing these things, right? Especially if it's just for frivolous reasons. You know, you made a vow to your husband, right? You should be trying your best to keep that vow so that you don't sin, right? Also, in Galatians 6:7, it says, do not be deceived. God will not be mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. So family, God's not going to be mocked. You know, if you're going to laugh about a divorce situation, I'm sorry, I don't think there should ever be a time when we're laughing about that situation, because again, God hates divorce. So if we're going to be laughing about those types of situations, we're mocking God, right? But he won't be mocked in the end, right? In the end, you're going to reap what you sow. So I think we have to be super mindful, family. It doesn't matter what people are telling you, what they're trying to push to you in the narrative. Listen, family, we gotta dig into the Bible, and we gotta really realize what we really are doing when we're doing certain things.
Yes, because the Bible does not promote individualism.
No.
That is American culture. That's American Western culture. That is modern culture. But the Bible promotes the family unit.
Yes.
It promotes family, community, and it also promotes fairness and justice for everybody as well. So let's just make sure that we live out the Word of God. You know, a lot of us have a Bible in our home, so hey, let's dust it off a little bit. You know, read a few verses and do the hard part. Actually, you know, the application of it. You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are some powerful scriptures that you brought out. Yeah, I mean, marriage is a vow. You make a vow. You know, it's a covenant that you make with your partner.
Yeah.
And you cut a covenant. You cut one. And in other words, you cut a covenant, and the blood is what you know. You're bound by blood in marriage. Like so, like you know, you cut a covenant with the Creator, just as the Creator cuts a covenant with with Abraham. You know, in marriage, you know, a man and a woman are to cut a covenant. You know, so that we're down by blood. We're down by law.
Yes.
We're down by law for the rest of our lives to live together and enjoy the blessings and the happiness of marriage.
And the journey.
And the journey. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, fam, we're not going to keep you here all day.
Yeah, because we got things to do, family, you know. So I know you can resonate with us. So we got some things to do, you feel me?
That's a fact. So, fam, please remember to
like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Please. And until next time, this is Jazz.
And I'm Jaden. Peace.